The Minister for Sport, Neil McFarlane, braved the pouring rain at York Castle to wave away last year's winner, Hannu, the obvious favourite to take a record fourth victory on this gruelling final round of the World Rally Championship. His Quattro was leading a massive six-car Audi team in a bid to take victory in the World Championship for makes. On the first special stages of Bramham Park, Clumber and Sutton Park, the pattern was set for 5 days of rallying in treacherously slippery conditions. Season-long rivals Opel responded to the challenge by including ex-world champion Ari Vatanen in their four-car lineup. Marco Allen was giving the new Lancia supercar its British international debut and soon gave notice that he would threaten the might of the Audis. The big question was, would the new car stand the pace? Substitute driver Jockey Kleint made a steady start, but the Opel gamble soon came unstuck. At the end of the first day, Kleint fell foul of the slippery conditions and his car went off the road, out of the event, reducing the Opel team to just 3 cars. Leading lady driver Michèle Mouton, runner-up in the Drivers' World Championship, soon adapted to the wet conditions. Talbot team leader Stig Blomqvist was driving the Sunbeam Lotus on its last official event and hoping to repeat the car's victory on the Lombard RAC rally 2 years ago, when it was driven by Henry Toivonen, who this year is the 3rd member of the Rothmans Opel team. Britain's leading hope, Tony Pond, driving the Vauxhall Chevette for the first time this year, needed all the good fortune that the Minister for Sport had wished him only a few hours earlier. Pentti Ricola was making a welcome return to the British scene with a Colt Lancer Turbo, surprisingly matching Mikola's early pace. Frenchman Guy Fréquelin was in the 2nd Talbot Sunbeam Lotus. He finished 3rd in 1980, revelling in similar conditions. But this year he had a new navigator, Jean-François Fauchil. With the rain coming down still harder, Russell Brooks in the 2nd Vauxhall Chevette was putting on a splendid show for the hundreds of thousands of spectators who were undeterred by the atrocious conditions. His co-driver was travel agent Mike Broad. 3rd member of the Vauxhall team was Toaster's Terry Cabey, who held a fabulous 2nd place as the cars headed south towards Wales. The battle was on. Joining in the battle of the factory teams were the 2 Duckham's Toyotas, fresh from their successes in New Zealand and the Ivory Coast. But Japanese rivals Mitsubishi Colt soon lost Pentti Ricola when he crashed the car, wrecking the front suspension. Brooks was slowed by transmission problems, but his service crew changed a complete gearbox in less than 15 minutes. By Monday morning in mid-Wales, Mikola's brilliant driving has taken him 30 seconds ahead of fellow countryman Ari Vatanen, who was using all his mastery to keep his Ascona in contention for an outright victory. The only result that could earn Opel the Manufacturers' Championship. Backing up Mikola in the 2nd Audi Quattro is Michèle Mouton. She's in 5th place, just behind Toivonen's Opel, with the young Finn starting his attack. The rocky Welsh stages have caused problems for many drivers, and this is Toivonen's second time-consuming puncture on the Coed y Brynnin stage just south of Bettws-y-Coed. Per Eklund's Toyota is making steady progress in 11th place. While Brooks is going faster in the Vauxhall at the expense of the bodywork. Fellow Vauxhall driver Terry Cabey is another to be slowed by punctures. Stig Blomqvist is the leading Talbot driver, holding 8th position. German national champion Harold de Muth with British co-driver John Daniels is impressive in 6th. Mikkola forges ahead in a most impressive and determined manner. Now it's Toivonen's turn to take up the Opel Challenge. But yet again, bad luck strikes the young Finn, though despite another puncture, he is still up to 3rd. Alain's Lancia is back to 4th. Brooks is still moving up the top 10. Valdegaard's Toyota is 1 place behind Brooks. The surviving Colt Lancer Turbo, driven by Swede Anders Kullang, is making up for lost time after hitting some logs. The 4th Opel team car, driven by Jimmy McRae and Ian Grindrod, is well down the field and eventually retires without making an impression. After a promising start, Cabey has slipped out of the top 10. Leading Talbot driver Stig Blomqvist is in aggressive mood, but tries a little too hard. Fortunately, the camera crew recover quicker than the Swede. This spin had dropped him 5 places to 14th by the time the cars arrived back in York for the overnight halt. Mikkola's lead and impressed Tuesday morning, and it's still raining. The ford in Hamsterley Forest is deeper than ever, but it doesn't deter Mikkola. De Muth's splendid drive has pushed him to 2nd place ahead of Toivonen. Alain is 4th, and with a 2-litre supercharged engine repaired, he is mounting a big attack on the leaders. Michel Mouton and Italian co-driver Fabrizio Pons, with their engine once again on song, are also back in the chase. Brooks is 6th at the start of the 2nd leg on the Rallycross circuit at Croft. Valdegaard is 7th. Blomqvist, recovering from his setback, is soon back to 9th. Aldegaard's Swedish teammate Per Eklund is also well in touch. Frekela bounces off the wall at Witten Castle in a desperate attempt to stay with the leaders. Meanwhile, back in Hampstead, Cumbria's Malcolm Wilson at the wheel of the left-hand drive Audi Quattro is steadily moving up the field, co-driven by journalist Mike Greasley. Coulang's Colt Lancer has had a troubled run, and this puncture is soon followed by clutch failure, pulling him out of the rally. John Weatherly's Citroën Visa was leading its class as the cars headed for the infamous Kielder Forest and the rally's longest night.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Dawn in the Lake District, and the rain has stopped at last. Mikkola has dominated the night to extend his lead to 5 minutes, leaving a trail of carnage behind him. KB's Vauxhall is about to join the list. In Grisdale Forest, that telltale blue smoke signifies the end of a valiant effort by the British youngster. By the time the survivors reach Harewood Hill Climb, the sun is actually shining, and the crowds have flocked in their thousands to watch the cars before their return to York and the final leg of the event. Toivonen is almost 6 minutes behind the leading Audi and threatened by an ever-improving Michel Mouton less than 1 minute behind. Alain is still fourth, but his challenge is fading. 3 minutes behind the French girl, despite a spirited effort on this famous hill climb. Demuth's startling drive has been spoilt when he slipped off the road in the Lake District, dropping him to 6th. Aldegaard is still a comfortable 7th. The ever-improving Malcolm Wilson is now up to 10th. While Frekela is 11th, as the drivers take a few hours rest before the final night of the rally in the daunting Yorkshire forests.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
The big question is, can Toivonen stay ahead of a determined Michel Mouton in her Audi Quattro?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Marco Alain will be happy with 4th. Harold Demuth, 5th. Top Brit Russell Brooks, 6th. The final special stage of the rally at Oliver's Mount in Scarborough. Mikkola's win is assured. And Michel Mouton has caught and passed Toivonen during the night. The superior traction of the Audi Quattro in the Yorkshire Forest has given her an 11-second advantage over Toivonen, who makes a last desperate bid on this tarmac stage to regain his place, but to no avail. Back in York, Hannu Mikkola has scored a tremendous victory and set a new record with his 4th win on the Lombard RAC rally. It's a tremendous achievement after 450 miles of the toughest rally stages in the world. Co-driver Arnie Hert celebrates an impressive record too, with 5 wins in the co-driver's seat. And this victory confirms Audi as winners of the 1982 World Rally Championship for mates.